its information war against democracies and to use social media to attempt to divide our societies.
The committee requested independent third-party researchers to produce 2 reports that comprehensively detail the leveraging of U.S. social media companies by Russia-based actors to conduct a disinformation and influence campaign in the 2016 election. Without speaking to sources and methods under your current authorities, would the IC be able to conduct the same analysis and produce comparable finished intelligence?
In terms of the work that was done by the 2 organizations that the Senate Select Committee on Intelligence had asked, they looked at an internal study with a number of social media groups, which is something, as you know, is outside our authorities, but was very, very effective for us. As we prepared for the 2018 midterm, we took a very, very close look at the information that was provided there. We understood our adversary very well, and we understood where their vulnerabilities also lie.
Is it the IC's assessment that this country's adversaries continue to use U.S. social media platforms as a vehicle for weaponizing disinformation and spreading foreign influence in the United States?
Yes, that's certainly the FBI's assessment. Not only have the Russians continued to do it in 2018, but we've seen indication that they're continuing to adapt their model and that other countries are taking a very interested eye in that approach.
General Nakasone.
It is certainly NSA's assessment as well, Mr. Chairman.
What applications of big data by foreign adversaries have you most concerned today?
Well, certainly China has the capacity and the resources to be able to do a lot, but that has not deterred other major nations like Russia and others to be aggressive in doing this. You have identified this as a significant threat. We are awash in data. We have to understand how our adversaries use that data against our interest.
Just add from the CIA perspective that a big focus for us is finding out how our adversaries are using big data against us and sharing that with our partners.
How do we work with our social media company partners to put Americans on alert about the volume of foreign-based activity, bots, and others who are masquerading as Americans going forward?
Well, Mr. Vice Chairman, this is a particularly vexing and challenging problem. I think it's going to require a holistic response, certainly at the FBI through the Foreign Influence Task Force and all of our field offices. We're trying to work much more closely, not just with our intelligence community partners, especially General Nakasone and the NSA, but also, as you say, with the private sector. And I will say that one of the bright spots between 2016 and 2018 is how much more cooperatively we're working with the social media companies because there's an awful lot that really has to be done by them in this space. And there were a number of success stories, only some of which we could really ever share, where the social media companies, based on tips that we provided, were able to take action much more effectively, much more quickly to block and prevent some of the information warfare that the Russians were engaged in. And I think we're going to need to see more and more of that. But now that we've got some momentum, we're looking forward to growing that partnership.
Many of us have sat down eyeball to eyeball with its leaders. Our tech teams are working with their tech teams. I can't say that's worked with every social media company, but it's significantly better because there's information we can provide them that is in their benefit. And of course, we always stress the fact that we need to work together to protect our people from influence activities from abroad and threats to the American people. So I'm encouraged, having made some trips to several of these companies, encouraged with the openness and willingness to see what we can do while protecting privacy rights, but also ensuring security.
Senator Risch.
The Kremlin is stepping up its campaign to divide Western political and security institutions and undermine the post-World War II international order.